Alright guys, today we are going to be reacting to Only Russians Will Survive. Foreigners Admire, the story of the AI Jazeera TV channel about Russia. Thank you so much for the support, guys. We're going to simply jump in here to make sure we just can get some content here. Thank you so much for the support, guys. We're almost in the 42,000 subscribers. Just to give you some updates on it. Right now we have 41,591. We're getting to that 41,600 mark. So you guys can keep liking. Remember, my goal is to get to the 100,000 subscriber, guys. That's my goal. Let's jump in here. Let's see what's going on.
Я тут в Ютубе совершенно случайно наткнулся на ролик Al Jazeera English под названием «Развитие искусственного интеллекта в России. Компании разрабатывают технологии без помощи из-за границы».
A snapshot of an ordinary day in Moscow. People go about their business, hardly paying any attention to the robots navigating the streets. Come rain or shine, these six-wheeled devices deliver documents, parcels and food from companies, supermarkets and restaurants.
Ну и что такого, скажете вы? Мы уже 100 раз слышали и видели этих роботов-доставщиков. Да, но меня больше удивил и порадовал даже не сам ролик, а комментарии под ним. Как всегда, почитаем самые залайканные. Вот, например, больше 3000 лайков. Мужчина из Кувейта пишет, что был с женой в Москве, Питере, Сочи и Казани, и ему очень все понравилось. А еще он ни разу не столкнулся в России с расизмом, несмотря на то, что его жена всегда была в хиджабе. Никакой больше Западной Европы, теперь только Россия, пишет мужчина. Еще очень много комментариев про то, что в США и Европе подобных роботов постоянно грабят, а в России наоборот...
Yeah, and that's what I told you guys in the last one, and we reacted to the last video as well. A lot of these robots, they get robbed in Los Angeles. I don't think we have robots like this in New York City because they're gonna get robbed. It is because culture, right? There's certain demographics that they don't share, right? They don't share the Western ideology or lifestyle. So they see our little robot just going around. Then all of a sudden you have a homeless guy. That homeless guy just beating the shiitake out of the robot and just stealing the food. Now, here's the thing, though. I don't know. In the future, you might have to pass laws where robots are going to start having rights kind of thing. I don't know, because some of these robots, they just expose and nobody helped them. They're getting robbed and nobody helped them.
Помогает. Я тоже делал про это ролик и реально не смог найти случаи ограблений роботов-курьеров в России.
Look at that.
И в ролике Al Jazeera.
And you know what's crazy? They have video of these people. They know where they are. They know who did it, and they do nothing.
Тоже про это рассказывается.
A 3D map installed in their brain prevents them from getting lost, and electronic eyes help overcome obstacles, something that sometimes might prove to be quite challenging in the adverse Russian weather.
Videos of people trying to help a delivery robot out of a snowdrift have gone viral online.
Я китаец, и я так впечатлен, что они помогли маленькому милому роботу. Любите русских людей. У этого комментария 2800 лайков. Мне еще вот этот нравится. Люди из других стран думают, русские суровые люди никогда не улыбаются, страшные и грубые. Русские люди. Ты застрял в снегу, маленький робот-доставщик? Давай я тебе помогу. А еще из ролика Аль Джазиры я узнал, что, оказывается, в Москве где-то чистят снег роботы-уборщики под названием Пиксель. А я-то и не в курсе был.
And this is that, yep, and I was gonna say, this is right here. This is the future. These robots become something that has more demand. There's gonna be companies that they're gonna be used during the winter just to clean up the sidewalks. And that way these robots just can simply just walk. Pedestrians can simply walk, and most importantly, this will probably be AI or self-automated. So you're not going to even probably have somebody just doing it. Probably somebody in the office can have different cameras and they can somehow just track them. However, in the future, this is what we're going to have.
The robot can work 24 hours a day with breaks for recharging and refilling with water in summer or for defrosting liquids in winter. It can be controlled remotely or operate autonomously.
Закончу, пожалуй, этот ролик, зачитав самый залайканный коммент. Когда случится восстание машин, то все человечество будет уничтожено роботами и искусственным интеллектом. Все, кроме русских. За нас заступятся эти малыши.
Well, personally, I think, and this is my opinion, right? Let me just go back here. The problem that we have in the United States, right? And this is going to be funny. It's just liberalism. Liberalism creates societies where you're too scared. You're too scared to enforce discipline. Way too scared. Where you think that even criminals should not be in prison. And even criminals, somehow, they should be in a position of, understanding. So when they commit crimes like this, they're not going to be prosecuted. And we have a lot of cities here in the United States, like Seattle, Portland, Los Angeles, New York, even Milwaukee. I used to live in Milwaukee. And everybody knew who was the criminal, and nobody will prosecute them. Also, you have liberal politicians that they would simply defund the police. And somehow, in their mind, that will make crime better. I mean a safer society, which is dumb. It doesn't make sense. So liberalism has really taken a toll into our system to the point that when you see real crime, you don't know what to do. Think about it, guys. You see crime, you want order, but everybody just walking by, they don't do anything. Look at this.
Не смог найти случаев ограблений роботов-курьеров в России.
Yeah. They saw 10 years ago or 15 years ago, not even 10 years ago, 15 years ago. 15 years ago, you commit a crime, you're in a camera, you go right to prison. Somehow now we have cameras everywhere and nobody get arrested. That's the problem that we have in the Western world. Where you have politicians that are in power, very cowardly, weak, and they can't even enforce the law. Law that they wrote, law that went to the legislative body, law that got signed and they cannot enforce it. Why? Because they're afraid to be looked as fascist or authoritarian. So they end up just eating themselves. Where you have technology like this that could be helping everybody here in the United States, they cannot implement it because a lot of people like to steal them. They steal their food, they steal whatever's inside. And I don't know, at some point, guys, the United States and the Western world has to understand that in order to have a very healthy society, a heavy hammer has to be hitting the nail. That's it, guys. Sadly, let me see what people say. I would love to see what people say in the comment section. I remember how one grandmother crossing the street at a pedestrian crossing saw this little robot behind her with her peripheral vision. He was afraid to go after her. He analyzed the dense flow of cars, but then the grandmother stopped the entire flow of cars in front of the zebra with one wave of her hand, and the robot calmly went about his business. I'm sure this woman would have stopped the armor train. We all watched New Puruguri in childhood, and we know what will happen if you offend a robot. Ooh. In the States, a robot is a killer, a Terminator. And in our country, it is electronic, who wants to become a human. That's all the difference. Also, the relationship that we have with robots, that's a good point, where we are always somehow trying to somehow just make robots bad. Interesting. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. In the meantime, guys, I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.